Hello everyone. Today we are going to analyze about employee monitoring versus micromanagement, and also we will discuss about the three metrics framework that drives 56% productivity growth. So let's dive into the session. Let me tell you about a tech company in Austin that made a decision they thought was smart. They had 200 employees, fully remote. Leadership felt disconnected, so they installed employee monitoring software to get visibility into what their teams were actually doing. 90 days later, 68 engineers had quit. That's 34% of their engineer team gone. The cost to replace them over $4 million. This is not an isolated incident. It's a symptom of a crisis that costing the US economy between 398 billions and $605 billion every single year. That's Gallup's data on micromanagement. Okay, and here is the really troubling part. We are doubling down on the very thing that's causing the problem. Gartner reports that 60% of large employers now use employee monitoring tools. Compared with the 2019, that number was 30%. We have doubled monitoring adoption in just 5 years. So we should be seeing productivity skyrocket, right? Wrong. Why? Because we are measuring what's easy to measure instead of what actually matters. Keystroke counts do not tell you if someone solved a critical problem. Mouse movement doesn't reveal whether your team collaborated effectively. Time logged in doesn't show you if they delivered value to your customers or not. We have created a surveillance infrastructure that generates mountains of data, but precious little insight. Here's where the things get interesting. Most of the companies think they are measuring productivity, but they are actually measuring something completely different. Let's break down the 5 most common metrics companies track. Every single one of these measures activity, not output. And here's the problem. When you measure activity, you get activity, not result. Harvard Business Review studied teams under the activity-based monitoring. What they found was striking. These teams showed a 23% decrease in creative problem solving compared to teams measured on outcomes. Let me give you a real example from a marketing team we studied. They had a content manager who could write a high converting emails about 45 minutes in deep. That is in focused work. So what did she do? She spent 4 hours creating the appearance of activity. That's an 84% loss in actual productivity, while the monitoring system reported her as more engaged. This is the reality. Microsoft calls this productivity paranoia, and this creates what we call the monitoring death spiral. It starts with a decreased trust. Leaders do not believe their team are working, so they add more monitoring. Employees see the monitoring and shift to performative work because that's what gets measured. Results accurately get worse. And what do leaders do? They add even more monitoring. One financial services company we analyzed went from tracking 3 metrics tracking to 17 in just 18 months. Their project completion rate dropped 31% in that same period. So here the question everyone's asking. What should we actually measure? We analyzed 47 different monitoring approaches across our 1200 plus companies. We looked at everything from keystroke counts to calendar density to code commits. And here's what we found. Only 3 metrics consistently correlated with actual productivity growth without eroding team's trust. These three metrics delivered that 56% average productivity improvements we talked about earlier. Let me break them down. Metric number 1, project velocity. Notice I didn't say hours logged. Here's the formula. Meaningful milestones completed divided by sprint cycle, tracked against baseline capacity. Metric number 2, collaboration quality. We measure 3 specific things: average response time on critical hands-off, cross-functional projects completion rates, and dependency resolution speed. Here is metric number 3, focus time availability. This one's backed by research from the University of California and Irvine. They found that knowledge workers who get 4 or more hours of interrupted focus time produce 5 times that output of those constantly context switching. A software company in Berlin with 85 developers switched from tracking billable hours to tracking project velocity. Within 3 months, they saw a 34% increase in feature release. Yes, but here the interesting part. Their team total logged hours actually decreased by 12%. Why does this work? Because it measures what actually matters. When a developer completes a feature, that's value delivered. Whether it took them 4 hours or 8 hours is less relevant than the fact that it's done and it works. A marketing agency in Toronto with 120 employees tracked this for 6 months. They discovered that their average hands-off time between creative and account management was 3.2 days. Just by making that visible, not by adding more meetings or check-ins, they reduced it to 1.1 days. Yes, 1.1 days. Their client satisfaction scores jumped 28%. Unbelievable. Here's why this metric works. It reveals friction point without blaming individuals. When you see that hands-off between 2 departments consistently take 3 days, that's not a people's problem. That's a process problem. Yes, and process problems can be fixed. Metric 3, focus time transforms performance. Yes, a financial services firm with 200 analysts started measuring this. This discovered that their top performers averaged 18 hours of focus time per week, while struggling team members averaged just 6 hours. The difference was not talent or effort, it was calendar fragmentation. They implemented focus time blocking policies. Within 2 months, their average focus time went from 9 hours to 16 hours per week. Analyst output increased 41%. Yes, 41%. Now, theory is one thing, results are another. We have seen hundreds of companies make this transition. Let me walk you through 3 specific examples where organizations replace traditionally monitoring with our 3 metric framework. And I would like to show you exactly what happened in the first 90 days. Are you ready? Yeah, here is the case study 1. A 230-person software development company in Denver, they were running screenshot monitoring every 10 minutes. Their engineering team hated it. Turnover was climbing. They made the switch, removed all screenshot tools, implemented project velocity tracking instead of it. 90 days later, sprint completion accelerated by 41%. But here is the number that really matters to their CFO. Voluntary turnover dropped to 67%. That was dropped to $59,000. Yes. Here is second case study. An 85% marketing agency who are working fully remote. They had been tracking hours or logged in timesheets. 8 hours meant productive. 6 hours means problematic. They shifted to collaboration quality metrics, response time on shared documents, hands-off speed between creative and account teams. Client project delays dropped 58% within 90 days. But the internal metrics was even more striking. Their employee satisfaction score went from 6.2 to 8.7 out of 10. Yes. Third case study. A 450% financial services firm running a hybrid model. They had a activity monitoring tracking, and it captures mouse movements, keyboard strokes, and what are the applications they are using. They replaced it with a focus time organization. Deep work hours increased 127% in 90 days. Employees went from an average of 47 minutes of uninterrupted time per day to nearly 2 hours. Reported stress levels decreased by 34%. Now, here's what's important. All of these three companies followed the same pattern. First 2 weeks, anxiety. Employees were genuinely worried. Week 3 through 6, adoption. People started understanding the metrics. More importantly, they started seeing how the metrics actually helped them to work better. Week 7 onwards, sustained improvements. The metrics became normal. Performance kept climbing. Alright, you are sold on the framework. But here is where most companies stumble. We have analyzed over 1200 time-term deployments. And the difference between success and failure is not the metrics you choose. It is how you roll them out. Let me walk you through the exact 30-day process that works. Finally, let's talk about 5 red flags that you are slipping into micromanagement. Number 1, you are checking individual metrics by daily instead of weekly. Second sign, you are comparing team members to each other instead of to their own baselines. Number 3, you are asking why before asking how can I help. Number 4, your team stops volunteering information about obstacles. And number 5, your metrics are improving but your retention is dropping. If you see any one of these, stop immediately. You have crossed the line. So let's talk about the question you are probably thinking right now. How do I know they are actually working? Yes, good question. Here's the thing. You are asking the wrong question. The real question is not whether someone is working every minute. It's whether the work is getting done at acceptable quality and speed. If you genuinely can't trust someone to work unsupervised, that's not a monitoring problem. That's a hiring problem or a management problem. Yes, Stanford ran a fascinating survey. They compared output based measurement versus time based measurements for remote workers. The output focused teams showed 13% high productivity. A SaaS company CEO in Toronto ran an experiment. 6 months later, the results were shocking. The unmonitored team had 22% higher output. A financial services company in London told us they identified underperformers 63% faster using the outcome metrics versus activity monitoring. So here's what matters most. Now, what you know right now, but what you do on Monday morning. We have broken this down by role because each of you has a different starting point. If you are an IT leader, audit all monitoring tools and categorize metrics as activity versus outcome. For HR leaders, draft the communication plan. For operation executives, calculate what micromanagement is actually costing you right now. I would like to share a real ROI case study. A manufacturing company in Ohio did this calculation. 75% team. Their micromanagement tax was $417,000 per year. $312,000. They implemented the 3 metrics framework. The first year savings are, can you expect? No? That is $312,000. Yes, that's after the cost of time jam. A design agency in Singapore started with just project velocity. Within 2 weeks, they identified that 37% of their delays were happening in one specific hands-off. Project completion times dropped by 19 days on average. Within 2 weeks, they identified that 37% of their delays were happening in one specific hands-off. Project completion times dropped by 19 days on average. Because here is the final data point that should light a fire under you. We analyzed implementation timelines across our entire customer base. Companies that implemented this framework within 30 days of learning about it to see 3.2 times. Yes, that is 3.2 times better result than companies who wait. It's not about the technology. It's about the momentum. Yes, the companies that succeed are the ones who take imperfect action immediately rather than perfect action eventually. So here is what we are offering. Go to the timejam.io/assessments. That's our free 3-metric assessment tool. Answer 20 questions about your current approach. It will show you exactly where you fall on the activity trap spectrum and give you a customized roadmap for your first 30 days. No credit card is required. No sales calls required unless you want it. Because your team is not a problem to be monitored. They are an asset to be empowered. And when you measure what actually matters, everyone wins. That's workforce intelligence. That's the future of work. And that future starts Monday morning. Thanks for watching the video. Please scan the QR code and book a dedicated AI delegation audit for your team and organization. We are offering 7 days free trial for use it. No credit card required. Please subscribe for next information video. Thank you. See you again.